Are you a mom who's clinging to her emotional support water bottle for dear life and simultaneously still not drinking enough water? How is that possible? Such is mom life. It is a paradox. Maybe you, as an anxious mom, have been dreaming of a night to yourself, a ladies' night out, a date night, whatever the case may be. And you finally throw down the money on the babysitter, or you bribe grandma, or you tell your husband that he has to be a parent, not a babysitter, and you make it happen. And then what? You're worried the whole time. Is my husband gonna load the dishes the right way? Are the babies safe? Are they eating something besides pizza crust? Are they crying for you in the middle of the night to the point where your relaxing mom's day out has turned into a want to pull your hair out kind of moment? Well, my friend, you're not the only one. I want to talk to you about something I see a ton in my practice, which is that women have been socialized to feel like pleasure is a dirty word. And I'm done with it. It's my mission to normalize pleasure, particularly for moms, because we know moms need it most, right? We're taking care of everyone. The life of a new mom or a toddler mom, or let's just face it, any kind of mom, we're not getting a ton of pleasure. Let's talk about the before and after here. Maybe your husband's complaining that you've turned into a naggy bitch. Who is this person? Maybe you've got to wear your headbands because the receding hairline is kicking in. Maybe you're burnt out just running around. What did I come into this room for? Oh, that the baby needs to be fed? So today, I'm serving as your wake up call. Are you okay? Anxious mom, are you okay? Not just, do you think you're okay? Because I see this all the time where we think we're doing better than we thought. I literally just got back from spring break. And if you're like me and got a PhD, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Dr. Megan Monday. I was in college for 12 years. And so you better believe that I've been doing mom spring break. Okay. Now, mom spring break does not have a lot in common with college spring break. My version involved lots of pleasure. And for me, it meant doable pleasure. That meant taking a short trip to the mountains. It meant taking a nap every day. It meant letting my body rest, not having to wake up to an alarm clock at the oh so brutal spring forward moment, which we've all been waiting for and yet simultaneously hate. Okay. I did not realize how much I needed a spring break until I had 6 days off and I felt so much better. So this is your wake up call. I'm talking to you. If you're someone who feels like pleasure is a dirty word, it doesn't have to be sexual pleasure. Although moms, I know that's a tough sell, right? When you've pumped out a baby, when you're breastfeeding, when you've got like sticky hands from the kids, we're all touched out, and it sometimes can be a tall order to get sexual pleasure, right? So what I'm talking about is some PG pleasure, mom-friendly pleasure, so that you can imagine what it's like to have a full, glossy, beautiful head of hair. I just dyed mine this morning, which was an ambitious order. It was on my spring break to-do list, and I woke up at 4 a.m. When's the last time you had that shiny glint in your eye, right? When's the last time you slept in? Can you even visualize what it feels like to be in the moment? My biggest takeaway for y'all today is I want to normalize pleasure. Pleasure is not something we have to wait for. Pleasure is not something we have to earn. Pleasure is available to you right now in this moment. I want to take you through just a really quick couple-minute sequence. It's going to help you create your own pleasure pause sesh. When I was working in a holistic treatment center, we taught DBT skills. And one of my favorite DBT skills is moment to pause. Let's take one. Do you feel that luxurious, quiet, silent pause? Literally, that's what moms need most. Yes, I see you. I see you. You've got YouTube on, the vacuum's going, the kids are screaming. What you need is a quiet moment, right? Moment to pause could be stepping outside for some fresh air. Moment to pause could be drinking water. Moment to pause could be drinking coffee. Moment to pause could be making some popcorn. Okay? It literally could be anything, whatever you so desire. So I want you to relax into the idea that anything could be a pleasure pause session. When you start to feel that trying to hold in that thing so that I don't regret the mom words coming out of my mouth that will create therapy bills later on. That's when we want to go to my second step. First step is relax. Second step is regulate. This is a micro skill that can help you relax no matter what you've got going on. When we think about regulating, we want to do regular intervals of the moment to pause. We want to work it into our schedule. We want to habit stack. We want to make it like so accessible. So I'll tell you one of my favorite ones. This is a cheat that you can do anywhere. You can do it in a staff meeting. You can do it on a call. You can do it in front of your kids. And you probably maybe already do it. I find one of my favorite self-soothes is actually to play with my hair. It might be to play with my hair. It might be to kind of slowly stroke my skin, might rub my little leg, especially as a therapist, if I'm listening to something that is traumatic. I try to limit my vicarious trauma just simply by doing a little self-soothe action. And you could do it without anyone even knowing. If you've watched a bunch of my tapping videos, you know that the points right here are really great to rub as well. And I want to direct you to a specific video, how to feel good and increase your pleasure positive mindset. This is a tapping to increase your pleasure frequency because some of us have a very small one. And that's why when you go out on that date night, you're worried because you can't break out of that worry cycle. So I've got to tell you, if you're a pleasure seeker, but you're a pleasure beginner, you might have to choose the pleasurable thing and just deal with it. If it's new, if it's a change, if it's away from your kids, it might be a little anxiety producing for you. And yet, if you start to be on a date night and you're listening to whatever your husband's saying, but you're thinking like, gosh, I hope nothing bad happens to my kids. Maybe I should look at my Ring camera. Instead, why don't you take a moment to pause where you feel how soft your hair feels, where you give yourself that little hug, where you stroke your little peasant blouse, where you rub that little knee, or better yet, maybe rub that husband's knee or partner, right? Getting into that touch is, what do we do with our kids? Why is skin to skin so powerful? Because it connects us. It releases oxytocin. It makes us feel good. That's why it feels so good when we have sex. And so we can bring that PG pleasure into our life as moms in really just kind of micro moments to just bring us back into this present moment so that we're not either pulling our hair out and or it's just dropping out on its own. Okay. So finally, the third one is our reality shift moment. To take you through this 3-step process, first we're going to just do a little bit of relaxation. That's that moment to pause. Then we're going to regulate it. How do we work it into our lives? Well, we're going to take that micro self-soothe moment to pause, and we're going to just put some tactile sensations in it, right? And then our reality shift is to normalize pleasure. pleasure isn't a dirty word. It's not all about sexual pleasure. It's positive events. It's feeling good. It's balancing that dopamine structure, because when we get easy dopamine, we can get that boost, like when we're scrolling, right? But then we're kind of like, afterwards. So we get the boost, but then we drop. But then say we do something hard like push-ups. And when we are doing that hard push-up thing, we're maybe not having a lot of pleasure. But then after it's over, we either feel the pleasure of pride or we feel the pleasure of, the feel-good chemicals like endorphins that are released after you exercise. So it's time to pleasurize your mental health, anxious moms, because I want you to glow from the inside out. And I want your friends, all your mom friends, the next mom group, to be like, what's her secret? Look at her hairline. It is growing back and she's got those shiny eyes again. And it looks like she's got a clean house. How is it all possible? Well, it's possible when you relax, regulate, and reality shift. This is what this series, Pleasure University, is all about. I want to normalize pleasure for those who need it most, which is, in my mind, anxious moms, because we work the hardest for the least amount of pay or even no pay, right? So next time someone says pleasure, don't automatically think of sexual pleasure, or maybe do. Instead, think of anything can be a pleasurable experience. And the more, this is so basic, y'all. This is some basic B. If you don't have pleasure in your life, you're not going to feel good and you're not going to be on top of your mental health game. Okay. And then, in case that didn't hit you, those moms giving everything to your kids, even if you love the crap out of them, they're still going to do what you do. So if you self-neglect, guess what? You can spoil those kids rotten and they'll still end up picking up your bad habit of self-neglecting. So let's just not do that. Instead, let's be healthy, regulated. Oh, I need like a fan so my hair's blowing kind of mom. Just kidding. Having a little fun with this one and my new hairdo. But your moment to pause could be dyeing your hair if you're like me and you've got a few grays to cover up. Also, all for some gray pride. I'm here for that as well. Okay, y'all, I hope you have a great day. And what's your moment to pause going to be? Put it down in the comments. And if you're like, gosh, I really don't know about this pleasure thing, what do we do next? Download my Pleasure Pathways profile book. You can find out what your profile is, and that will give you a shortcut to honing in on what kind of pleasure feels good for you. Thanks, and have a great day.